Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back. We are continuing our experiments here. I think finally I might be able to make use of this tool and make a trim sheet. The whole purpose of putting this thing together. I do want to add plane and long plane, however, as models. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Get that up and running. Preview cube, sure. Okay, I'm just going to plane. There we go. Plane, yep, and then 3. We're gonna do long plane. Okay. In case we're making tall trim sheets, I should also make, I think, a tall cube and a tall plane. Just in case. So we'll just do it like this. I think for this we might actually have to automate the keys. Just have the same function but different key. View plane. Hey, we can just drag and drop preloads now. Although I think when it's just single drag, it's always been the case. Oops. Okay, cube, cube long, cube tall, plane, plane long, plane tall. Noise. Alright, the only other place where we use this is this thing here. Let's change the function called set view model. Predefined. Model key. Okay. And then, okay, technically I still need that one line of code. There we go. Model key is going to be supplied here. Now, I need to go, where is it? mesh. Mm-hmm. We can edit this. This is the function. And advanced, I'm gonna send a string. And the string is what? Cube. Yes, that's gonna be cube. Okay, this one, function, string, cube, long. Then we do cube tall. Okay. Now before the cube, I think we should have a plane. Maybe? Or should it go after? Okay. Maybe I'm gonna do a grid container. How many columns? Right. Hmm. Okay, maybe not. Okay, that's much better. Cube, cube long, cube tall, plane, plane long, plane tall. Okay, I think that should do it. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, what happened to the default texture? There we go. Oh, that's not supposed to be like that. Oh, that's not it. There we go. Alrighty, Cool. So that's done. Technically, I should be able to export it. Let's see. Maybe we should call it live Godot map previewer. Let's be very specific here. Cool. And then I'm going to make this panel not be visible from the get-go. Actually, no. Let's keep it visible. That's fine. Okay. Get this exported. Windows. Windows Desktop. Get this stuff downloaded and installed. I'm going to launch Krita in the meantime. I wonder if we can make a longer trim sheet, let's say twice as long, like 2K by 1K, but then shrink it horizontally. Sure, we're going to lose a little bit of resolution, but maybe it's not going to look too bad, and that's going to give us twice as much data to work with. Okay. Export Windows RC Edit to change the icon or app information data. That is okay. Encryption keys needs to be stored in the binary. What's the point of this? Why do we need to recompile Godot engine just to get encryption up and running? That seems weird. Okay, runnable, yes. Okay. Not start RC edit executable. Dang it. Export Windows RC edit. So I can't do it without it. What did it say? Export Windows RC edit. Editor settings. Aha. So I need to acquire RC edit. Godot questions right there. Or 14 to install an extra tool called RC edit. Okay. Whatever you say. Hello? Windows? Oh, do I need to just... Okay, I don't think I run this. I wrong. Yeah, okay, there we go. So it just wants to be... It wants to contain it. Okay. There we go. Hopefully, that's what we need. Hey, look at that. Nice. Guess I'm just gonna quickly put something together. Actually, no. I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse the cube we have here. How's it going, Arong? How's life been? making a tool. Yes, making a tool that will help create trim sheets in just regular painting software, but allow me to preview what the trim sheet looks like in Godot specifically. Because time and time again, I would make a texture and it would look one way in the texturing software, but then import in Godot and it looks a little bit different. Trim sheets especially, I simply design in painting software, so having some sort of a tool that will update the trim sheet preview is what I was kind of hoping that there'll be already something out there, but since we're making games in Godot, I decided to put together a quick tool that does it specifically using Godot Renderer. What the heck? Cube. Okay, save this. This is icon assets. There we go. You might not like the fact that the icon is kind of large. Ah, right. Has to be included with the software, is it? Sprites. Okay. For project. There we go. And that's it. It's done. Hopefully. As long as it runs okay in standalone mode, because sometimes I would export a software or a game and it would run fine in the engine, but then in standalone mode it's like doing iffy stuff. Like this. There we go. Okay, so let's see. So if we specify a folder, oh yeah, the always on top thing, we need to make it be a parameter. Engine, assets, test location. Okay, so copy this location. Also, I need to remove that path. There we go. So it has detected that there's an albedo and a metallic map and automatically applied it. We can increase the UVs here so we can work with tiling. We can do long cube, which technically has three UVs in it. Maybe when you pick the long cube, the UVs should change automatically. The lag is shader compiling. Alright, fair enough. Maybe we can do a splash screen in that case. After that, it's cached. Gotcha. I'm gonna quickly install the font. I don't think I have it. Hey, already had it. Nice. Okay. Okay, cool. And then we do need the extra setting for disabling always on top. Is that parameters? General. Pretty sure that a checkbox doesn't have a label on it. Oh, it does have a label on it. Always on top. Okay, we're gonna do toggle. Send it to the editor. And then window something has always on top. Window always on top. Yes. But we might have to get window. Yes. Always on top equals toggle on. Okay. So right now it's disabled, but technically it is enabled by default. Okay, then we do this. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. So shrink it. Shrinky dink it like this. And have it be toggled always on top. And just dock it or position it somewhere near your painting software. Whoop. And then that's it. Just start painting. Okay. Let me close this. Export again. The last 10% of the application take 90% of the work. Always with the little additions. Alright. Here we go. Deploy. Where's deploy? That's Dreadtail. We don't need that right now. Eisenshell. Deploy. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. So. Oh yeah. File path. Dang it. Son of a gun. You. Path to watch folder. Extra map folder. Hey, hey. Export project. Save. Okay. There we go. What do you think an app like this is worth? Because I'm gonna get the Steam release thing so I could put this up, and who knows, maybe it'll trickle down a few bucks here and there. What do you think? $10? Canadian, you know, the Canadian dollar is it's a little poo-poo. Why not Gumroad? I might as well just stick to the platform that also publishes games, my games, because you know, why not? It's just single place where all of the like payments are coming from. Software games doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh, you know what? We are missing. We are missing something important. Although it's not critical right now. I think it will be critical if we release it, and that would be some sort of a tutorial thing. So we're gonna do a vector layer instead. You need to pay Steam though, no? Yes, but Steam seems like a appropriate solution to me. Okay, that is super big. Okay, now because it's a vector layer, we should be able to edit this. Keyword should. Ah, there we go. Nice. Can we edit the size of the brush? No. Now we're just forever stuck with this thickness. Well, that's not fun. Look at the freehand path tool. Alright. That's movement. Hmm. Convert to path. Yeah, that's really weird. You can't like change the thickness of the stroke after you've painted it. I mean, Crit is not a vector software, but come on. That's much easier. Sheesh. Okay. Just gonna quickly put together just a basic map of items. Text label. Okay. Controls. Okay. Pretty sure that that's all for the controls. Oh yeah, and then control. Hmm. I think there's a way to distribute the text. Like alignment of something. fill. That's what I need. Okay, buddy. Alright, buddy. Am I gonna have to do a B-box container? And then 2 labels? I feel like I might have to do that. I also think the function should come first and then the shortcut. Okay. I love it. Oh, God. Oh, button. Yes. Oh, it's not a toggle button. That's why. There we go. think I'll need to include a little piece of notice. Okay, I think this is all the basic information that needs to be included. Hmm. Would be nice if this could be a different color. Okay. Cool. So that is it. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, of course. It's never done. Anchor point right there. For the button. Yeah. Of course, I forgot to close it. So something interesting I discovered is that Steam will actually refund you the submission fee if your application makes over a certain amount of money. At least I believe so. Might be disinformation, who knows? Like if your application makes a certain amount of sales, they're like, okay, here you go. Here's your submission feedback. You made more than enough for us. Let me double check that. Non-refundable. Recoupable in the payment made after your product has reached 1,000 USD. Adjusted for, there you go. But will be recoupable. Okay, there you go. Only $1,000. That's all you gotta do. Cool. All right. So now that's the application. As long as it can scan for folder. Watch. All right. Color map. Okay, so if I were to make a new map, let's say 1024 by 1024, and then we're gonna make it pink for whatever reason. Then export. And then we are explicitly looking to name it. Oh, oh, that's about the car. 1 second. All right. Might for once have some good news. Uh, Man, I've been looking for a car. Um, we, as returning citizens to Belarus, have a pass, so to speak, to import one car in our entire lifetime. Well, per person in a family, that is, without any import like duties or taxes, because it's like a returning citizen type privilege. So this is not albedo. This is roughness. So we've been looking for an ideal car, and I was looking for something that can switch between all-wheel drive and front-wheel drive, and not a whole lot out there that is big enough to that isn't a truck. It's got to be an SUV, but it's big enough to fit like a sheet of drywall for, I'm going to be doing renovations, getting a pretty old, pretty beat up property, and then renovating it. So same thing with like an apartment, so I can deck it out to the way I want. And yeah, been trying to find a car that can check all the check boxes, be strong enough to haul like a truck or a trailer, I should say, with all my crap. And that's albedo. That and can still pass for like a family cars of a sort. There we go. Man, this is what I've been like looking for. Just a tool that can allow me to do some quick texture painting. There's a lot of textures. You can really don't need to use substance for everything. I think a lot of this stuff is pretty much just going to be like this. Create a quick trim sheet and slap it onto your object. Cool. Will you add the opacity map in albedo? I believe that is already a part, but there's no transparency checkbox. So I might have to just enable that actually. And then parameters, we can reduce the metallic. Just keep the roughness. Oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, not a whole lot of cars that can check all the check boxes, so to speak. Where do I handle stamina? Progress bar or player script globally? I mean, anyone. Well, the progress bar would be the only incorrect answer because you don't want to store your information in the bar. The bar is only supposed to represent the data, not store the data. So I would handle it in the player. Just make a stamina variable and have the player display it in the user interface. Unless you have the kind of game where it's crucial that the state of the stamina is saved between levels, then, even then, just you could have it a global variable, or you could just back it up to the global variable and then load it back up when you're going to the next level. Cool. Okay, so this works. Pretty cool. Keep metallic up there. And of course, if I were to let's say get rid of the metallic map, it should automatically update. And then there we go. Maybe that's what we should do. If the metallic map is removed, the metallic property is going to go back to 0. just metallic. Set it to 0, and we have a slider that also needs to go to 0. We have a height map here as well. If the height map gets unloaded, the height map value has to go to 0. And I think the other maps are pretty inconsequential, unless maybe we're talking about roughness. If roughness is unloaded, we're just going to return the roughness value to 0.5. Middle ground, maybe? Also, missed maps. Missed maps, this is kind of dangerous. I think missed maps, oh yeah, we do reset it as an empty array, so that's good. Where do I handle stamina regen? Whatever you want, man. Could be the player, could be the global script, could be anywhere. As long as you just get it up and running. Just get it up and running and then play around with it. Work on your game. And then if you feel like the place where you place the code doesn't seem correct, move it. It's simple stuff. Yeah, there's no standards in Gamedev. Unless we're just talking about WASD movements, and that's basically about it. Make your own standards. Experiment. Let's put this out. We can use this tool as Godot add-on. Potentially. But I'll just have it as a separate application because it's not supposed to be used in Godot. It's kind of useless in Godot, as a matter of fact, because you're not painting your textures in Godot. You're painting your textures in graphics software like Krita or GIMP or Paint.net or Photoshop. That's the purpose of it. Okay. So we've exported a new version. Let's double check this. Okay. Nice. It just loads up right away. Okay. Now there's no metallic here. I think the center is a little off. Is it? Camera carriage? Nope. Camera carriage is right here. Interesting. Okay. Maybe having a reload button to be like somewhere out here would be nice, like right at the bottom. Just duplicate the reload button. As a matter of fact, whoop. Okay. Ah, right. We told it to stretch out, stretch Armstrong itself. There we go. Refresh. I want to make these as inconspicuous as possible, so we're going to set the size. Maybe pretty small. Okay. Always on top, I think, should also be in here. The only thing, the only problem is that when we click on one, it's not going to update the other. So maybe we'll just get rid of this. Yeah, the refresh is okay because it's just a regular old button. There we go. That works. I believe this is something that you would frequently want to change. Refresh. Doesn't want to refresh. Right. Okay. Cool. So I think that works. Although I think something's up with that panel. Panel container and tab container. Oh, okay. That was a little weird. Seems like the tab container is a little bugged. Okay, fair enough. Looks fun here. application. Nice. Okay, so if I were to create, let's say, a roughness map, well, not roughness, but what calls it, some other map, metallic. Fresh. Okay, so now we got the metallic map here. And then if we were to, let's say, instead of deleting it, I could always just rename it. Refresh. I guess it does contain the word metal in it. There we go. And that just gets removed. You can set the refresh rate to be as short as 1 second. Antoine's is missing the context. This is a mapping preview tool for making, let's say if you make textures in Krita or some other painting application without having to open like Substance Painter or Substance Designer. If you need to come up with, let's say, something really simple, because for some of the, let's say, trim sheets, Substance Painter would just be an overkill, especially for like indie projects. So you can slap together some pretty nice looking trim sheets in Krita. It's just a matter of making sure that the textures look correct in Godot Engine. So I used Godot Engine to create a preview tool that allows you to preview what your maps would look like. And then we can maybe increase the size of the lights. Didn't know that Krita had this feature. It didn't. This is not Krita. This is Godot Engine application that I just finished programming. it's quite literally just the cube, and it just, what you do is you specify a folder where your textures are located. And for example, if I were to edit, let's say, the roughness map, like this, save it, and then, yes, and then this thing will just automatically pick up on the changes like that. And now you can see what your map, what your texture looks in, will look like in Godot Engine using its standard material. And then, play around with it. If you're doing trim sheets, you can do like a long cube and then see the repetition. Going back to shoveling. Oh boy. Snow. Lovely. It's always fun. But looks cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've yet to actually use this. I've spent all this time putting it together. Let's actually try giving it a test drive. But not right now, because I need to take a break. So, I'll keep the stream running. We'll do a short one. Take a quick break, maybe make some coffee, grab a bite, and then we'll be back and we'll try to put together a trim sheet. Alrighty. So, I think it's time we try creating a trim sheet using the tool, using the preview. I'm going to try something here. Let's close this. I'm going to open up this guy. In the meantime, I guess 2048 by 2048 is going to be the size. And what are we making the trim sheet for? Well, we have the booth walls. We have the booth walls, and we also have, what else do we have? The window plastic, or rubber, I should say. We've done something like that with the other map for the diner, drive-in diner. Let's start with the middle gray, with just a hint of blue. I'm going to do a separate layer. This one's going to be more gray, with a bit of brown in it. And we know, oh god, this is loading. Okay, we know that the bunker, the booth walls have a little bevel at the bottom, which is something we're gonna have to account for. As a matter of fact, I might actually want to flip this upside down. Okay. Set this up. It's still loading. Cool. Let's put this into the groups. There we go. Okay, so there's the padding at the bottom. We also have something going on up here. Okay. So let's start by, I guess, getting the color map out. figure we'll go straight for the engine. Engine, textures, painted. Or is it painted seamless? Trim sheets. Okay. This is going to be turbine boot. Copy this. How to save your image as a clear file. Okay. Specify that as the watch folder. Mm-hmm. That doesn't seem to be the bottom. That's the bottom. We'll make sure it's seamless by setting the horizontal wraparound direction. Mm-hmm. Even going along the center for the dirt might be better. Now, the wall itself, we need to have some dripping stuff. Let's see. Alpha stamps, cracks, damage. No, these are not. These are normals. I have other maps. Oh god, that I haven't downloaded yet. Dang it! This is the thing. Sometimes I would buy assets. What's this called? ArtStation. Sometimes I would buy asset packs, but not download them. So God knows what resources I have available that I'm just not aware of at the moment. I really need to back this stuff up. Okay. Where is the stuff? Could have sworn I've downloaded these. Okay. Okay, this is brushes and decals. There we go. Yeah, we'll just work with one. Let's see. Have you tried Material Maker? No, I have not. Okay. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I think we might have to unzip this. So, brushes and decals. That's lovely. Come on now. Oh, yeah. Now, I don't think that we're going to be applying this as a brush. There we go. Okay. I believe this, being color burn, is not exactly useful. Colorize mask. Well, I'll be. How does that work? That's not work at all. Okay. Literally, quickly coloring line art. Colorize mask editing can be found next. Okay. Usage. Conjunction with this tool works in conjunction with the colorize mask, and usage as follows. Interesting. Select the colorize mask editing tool while having the line art layer selected. Canvas will add a colorize mask to the layer. You can right click. You can also right click the line art layer, add colorize mask. Line art will suddenly become really weird. There's the pre-filtering. Interesting. Okay, so I don't think this is meant for this. Although make strokes with brush color, press update in the tool options. Take the last icon to colorize mask property. Huh. Oh. Oh. Yeah, no, that's definitely not what we want. Cool. Hmm. We could, hypothetically, do something like this. Make a new layer, fill it with whatever color we want, and then convert to transparency mask. And that gets applied over this thing, except we need to invert it. Like that. This whole thing kind of looks bluish already. Alright, well, now that we've done that, we should be able to shift the hue. Okay, and then potentially, using the pen, we could add just a little bit of the stuff at the bottom. Just a few patches here and there. Maybe on a separate layer. Okay, let's give that as a starting point. Okay, so that's displaying nothing, apparently. What happened? Albedo color map. Are we already broken? Turbine booth watch. Fascinating. Somehow we've managed to break the application already. Boy. Okay. Well, what's the issue here? Let me quickly run the project. I'm going to export with debug messages, and then we'll see if we can run this. Oh, we'll see if we can run this in the console. Export with debug. Yes. I think I know what's happening. It keeps picking up on these weird ass files after the fact. Like when Godot imports a file, it picks up on this guy. When it detects the tilde, it picks up on that. So I think what we might have to do is make sure that the extension is the last piece of text. Is the last piece of text here. Now, potentially the way we could do that is we could use a split command to take the name of the file, split it using the extension, and then if we have anything more than one value, then that means that there's something after the PNG. Okay, whoops, I should not close that. I kind of need that. All right. Where is the loading code? Okay, here we go. Extension. Check that the extension is the last thing in the file name. So skip backups and autosaves for other weird files like .import. Okay, so we take file. If you split using the extension that we found, and the size of this array is more than 1, continue. We're gonna say print file name is weird. And then just for reference, I'm gonna specify the name. Okay. Nope. Export. Okay, console and the regular. Okay. Textures. Painted seamless. Trim sheets. Watch. Now it doesn't load anything. Removed missing map. Weird file name. .import skipping. But then it skipped the other file name too. What the Come on, man. Just skip everything. Alright. What the heck? If it's larger than 1, okay. Print. Let's print this. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Ah, dang it. You gotta run it from here. Okay. Okay, there's the dot import, but for some reason, when it performs a split, the second value is... Huh. Second value is empty. Okay, so I guess we can say if after the split, the second value is an empty string, then we're in the clear. Allow empty. Oh, look at that. There's a boolean that allows us to mitigate that. Okay. Hey, there we go. All right, back in business. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's do the normal. Normal should be fairly straightforward. I think we could just apply it directly to everything. Add a filter layer. Right. Probably pay attention to here. Emboss map. No, emboss. Enhance. Edge detection. Height to normal. Just need to make it -y. Okay. Vertical radius. Oh, they're both linked. That's cool. Use the different channels to try to read the normal. Alrighty. So this is going to be norm. Okay, and you. There we go. Look at that. Automatically picked up on it. Although I feel like it's a little strong. And also seems to be going in the wrong direction. Okay, I want to copy the layer style. Might want to add a white light, to be honest. Properties. Let's keep that by default, because I think that actually gives us a better direction. Okay. Yeah. I think that's it. Because now the rust looks like it's intruding into the wall. Now this is supposed to look like it's metal. So I suppose the next step would be to produce some kind of a roughness map, which doesn't have to be based on what we have here, although I think this would be a good starting point. I'm going to Control J and then Control E. So J duplicates the layers, Control E merges everything into one layer. We're going to do this, then Control L. Roughness. So wherever there's black, it's not rough, so it's smooth, which means we actually need to flip this, which we can't do it like this. We're going to have to do it like this. And then we can adjust the levels. So anywhere there's black, it will be smooth. So just crush this in. Oh, that might actually work. Except for the bottom. We can always adjust the bottom. Let's see. Adjust this. Okay, the bottom. This would be very smooth. Anything that's dark is very smooth. Anything that's... Okay, that's the rubber. So that would be... Okay. Well, I mean, the best way to assess this would be to test it. So... roughness. Yep. And there we go. Okay. Well, it's not reflective where the rust is. And that's what we want. But I feel like the rest is a bit too reflective. So we can do the following. Uh-huh. Okay, so you see now we got these stains that are not very reflective. But I feel like it's still too reflective in certain places, so we actually want to lighten up the whole thing. Like that. Did it? Did it export? Boo. Oh. This is roughness. Okay, that seems a little bit better. Okay. I think the base color for the top piece is not quite right. Okay. It's looking a little bit better. This is supposed to be going around the windows. This bottom piece is probably going to be a bit darker as well. Maybe a bit too dark. Oh. If exporting is the wrong file. Okay, it's a little bit better. I'm thinking some sort of streaky, leaky stuff going in the bottom here. So we can take a look at what else is available here. Something thin. Something like that, maybe. Hmm. Okay. I think we just have to use a filled layer and use this as a mask. Right. Hmm. Okay. It's all the same flat color, so give it some variation. Blends a little bit better. Alright. Now, metallic. I think for the time being, we'll just do like a middle gray. Oh, did I just close this? Dang it. Okay. Well. Interesting. Now that it's metallic, this seems a little bit more like, well, metal. Let me try. Try to make when dialog box appears. The Y like M1 health on the screen slides side to the edge of the screen. Jesus Christ. Punctuation. And disappear. Use animation player node and animate the position of the panel. Or you can program the motion to smooth transitions between two positions. Okay. Can I do like a multiply thing here? And then that's going to be the metallic. Maybe even like burn, color dodge, darken, burn, no. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it's a little bit better. Why don't we try adding something along the lines of like a panel crease? Just gonna blur it out. Oh, okay, well that's a bit unfortunate. Painted it on the layer that has stuff on it already. Oh, okay, that's got pen thickness. We don't want that. We want consistency. Okay, so this is... Dang it. Okay, maybe that's why. I'm trying to use a brush to do line work. That still does it. What the heck? Okay, let's do mirroring, I guess. Does it the same thickness on both ends? There we go. Okay, now this is supposed to be a crease between two panels. So we're gonna do blur just a little bit. Basically simulating ambient occlusion type deal. Then reduce the brush size. We're gonna try that again. Okay. Lighten up just a touch. Nice. And that kind of works. Crease. And now maybe rivets. In order for us to do rivets, we have to prep a brush that can do rivets. Rivet. Pixel. Okay. Density. Okay, not quite. Brush tip is going to be circle. Yes. Diameter. We don't want noise. Oh. The spacing I need to worry about. There we go. That's much more like it. Okay. Diameter will have to increase. Maybe 10. Spacing. Yes. Okay. Let's override this. Not default. No, we need to save as a new one. Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, if we do this, we can avoid the whole issue of having to repeat it. Okay. Sure. Yeah, we need to give it some semblance of lighting. So I think we can do inner glow. Maybe it actually has to be darker, but the rivet itself has to be lighter. Style, inner glow. Linear dodge is not going to let us get darker than the actual element. Normal. Opacity. Okay, I think that's much better. Still kind of blurry. I guess we'll see what that looks like. Let's get Godot. Okay, there's a rivet missing right there. That's what the normal map thinks we're looking at, which I can't actually tell if it's intruding or extruding. No, it looks like it's intruding. Now that's not good. What do we do to change it? Is the crease protruding too? Nope. No, the crease is intruding. Okay. So... there we go. So I just had to invert it, which makes it look like what? White, and it darkens... Ah, okay, that makes more sense. Got it. Okay. There we go. That's looking much better. Now, to be fair, maybe we should also extrude the color map. So these are a little bit lighter. Cool. I think as a starting point, this looks pretty good. This looks more like concrete than it does like metal, to be honest. Maybe that's because the metallic layer should be much more pronounced here. Should be a black and white image too. Still looks like concrete. We'll probably dial down the strength in the shader, as it seems like we don't really have control over the strength of the normal within the map itself. I think it just defines the angles by the looks of it. Also, that right there is the more appropriate roughness value. And that actually looks a lot more like metal. So I think that's what the problem was. We had our roughness set to too low. By default, when you import a map into Godot, it's going to be showing up as roughness of 1. So this is looking much better. Ah, dang. Okay. Maybe we can also reduce the roughness or get the rivets up here into the roughness map. And then it needs to be not very rough, so yeah, we'll do this. Should be fairly shiny. Oh. Alright. Every time it imports it, it's gonna set it to 0.5, so we might wanna change that. But yeah, this looks pretty decent, I think. Cool. Alright, let's say that this map is done. Let's just make that assumption. So what do we do next? We take this set of textures, which is technically already in the engine. Right, we have to actually UV map our objects. Booth kit. Because it's a trim sheet, everything can just use one material. Okay, we have the outside, we have the inside. Whoops, what did I just do? I just tabbed. Oh. Okay. Okay, so we have an issue here where we need to turn this into a square. And I think there was a plugin, UV Square. I might even have it on Blender Marketplace. Let's see. Orders, UV Packmaster 3, Auto Rig, Retop of Flow, Perspective Water. Auto Rig Pro. Okay. UV squares. 9 issues. That does not seem like the right plugin. No, maybe it is. Get it on GitHub. Okay. Download zip. Add-ons. Oh, already have it. Got it. UV squares. Nice. Okay, the rivets will get stretched if we do this. Seems to be a little bit better. However, this will not result in repetition because these elements by themselves are kind of half-sized. Okay. Is it selecting everything? Ah, that's why. Actually, you know, if we make this have the panels on the left and the right, then we could treat one panel as a single side, single element. The skewing is going to be only small, minor, hopefully. We'll also just do this. And we'll just assume that the crease in between... Yeah, you know what? We might be able to do that. If we take this crease and we place it on both sides. Let's see. What's happening here? Okay. We'll leave out the rivets for the time being. Godot. And then normal. The most important pieces. Just reload. Okay, so now we have panel creases on both sides, hopefully. Yes. I don't see it on this side though. That could explain why the panels don't necessarily match up. we might have to do a half piece here, half crease. Because otherwise we have to do this, we have to compress the heck out of it. Like that. Just do this. It's not technically correct, but yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay. This is the full panel. I feel like it still needs to use only a small portion of it. I'm finding myself once again using trim sheets in a very non-trim sheety Trimsheet approach. Okay. Okay. Well. Hmm. Okay, there's a crease right there. That could be because the arrangement, the orientation is not quite correct. Okay. Now that seems like that is a perfect coordinate. It's a perfect match. So what's happening here? Can I control M on the x-axis? Preferably around the center. Almost. Control M on the y-axis. Oh yeah, there we go. I think. Okay, here's how we can find out. Take that. That is top left corner. Then we take this. That is over here. That's why it doesn't match. this one was already stretched, that's why. Alrighty. That works pretty well. Okay, I think I need to take a break. We still need to UV map the back of it, but slowly but steadily we are figuring out this whole trim sheet process. I think our props, if our props were twice as big, like this, they were actually rectangular, then we would be able to use the whole trim sheet. But so far we're finding ourselves just using like a quarter of it. So I could divide this into a quarter as well, and then we have 4 unique quarters to work with. Okay, cool. We'll be back.